Hello, everyone. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to a colleague of mine. This is Chris Valdez, and she does reverse mortgages. Chris and I met years ago at a networking group, a senior marketing group, when we were marketing more to the senior communities in and around Central Texas. So thanks for meeting me here today.
Thank you. Yeah, that was such a long time ago, and I'm just so glad that you and I still have that relationship together where we can work together, in the senior community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember, Chris, when we first met, that you talked a lot about reverse mortgages for refinancing, but was there one that worked for purchases?
Yeah, reverses have come a long ways nowadays. So now not only can people get a reverse mortgage staying in their home, but they can actually get a reverse mortgage purchasing a home. And that's been a really good benefit because now we've had, in this industry, reverse mortgage industry, we've had lots more opportunities to work with realtors such as yourself.
So how do you get your reverse mortgage clients?
Well, basically, because I've been doing this for 14 years, I've got a lot of history, a lot of background with it. So I've made a lot of connections. And because of that, working through realtors and previous clients, I get my referrals that way. And I, in the process with realtors that I work with, send out, market them out as well so that we can just kind of continue on with that relationship of working together doing, reverse for purchases.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't know that exists, or they don't know the ins and outs about it.
Right.
Is it more challenging, would you say, than a regular mortgage, or what are the benefits to it? Let's talk about that.
That's a great question. Actually, it is not as challenging, and that's what makes it more appeasing for seasoned homeowners. So basically, the financing is a lot less strenuous than what you find in traditional loans. The qualifications as well, overall, besides the financing, is a lot less strenuous. When we are doing the financial assessment, because, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, I think like an underwriter. And what's nice about this is most of the time with our clients that we work with, as far as income goes, we just need their Social Security income because they have to have enough income to show it can pay for their property taxes and insurance and homeowners association if there is any. The other thing is that it allows them to finance more home, meaning not bigger home, but just maybe a home that's in a better area that they're looking for or has better amenities. So the process is very, very smooth. I'm really big on submitting clean files in the beginning. So it runs basically, I submit the file with the, the paperwork, all the documentation that we need. And then when it goes to underwriting for, extra conditions, normally it's a very, very small amount because we covered everything in the beginning, which obviously makes the experience a lot more smooth, a lot more pleasant. When seniors are moving, it's very stressful.
Yes.
Maybe they have had a lot of years in a home, and now we're able, so they're dealing with that, and they're dealing with moving into a brand new location. So this is something that we really strive into making it just be a seamless transition for them as far as buying their new home and then coming off of selling their previous home.
I like the fact that you kind of pre-underwrite. I know when I was in the mortgage business doing forward mortgages, if you will, I would submit a perfectly clean file, and back then we had to write them all on carbon copy.
Yep.
And when I would submit these files to the underwriters, I know they'd grab my file. They'd have a stack of 30 on theirs, but they knew it was going to be a clean, easy file, and maybe they'd had a bad day. So that's really important that you've been doing this for so long and that you understand the ins and outs. And what's a great client for you?
It's anyone that's really 62 years or older.
Okay.
That is the baseline for this.
Right.
Someone who might be selling their home, they can keep their home too and use it as a rental if they want to. But normally if they're selling their home, they, as far as a down payment goes, it can range from around 55 to 60% as a down payment. However, don't let that, I don't want that to deter people because a lot of it's coming from the sale of their other home. And what's nice about it is they're putting that money down, but they're able to keep some extra money instead of paying full cash for a house. They're able to keep some extra money that they have made off of that previous home for investment purposes, or, you know, just to have as an emergency cushion. And then they still have the benefit of not having a monthly mortgage payment on the home that they're purchasing. Plus, it might be a better home that they could afford versus doing a traditional loan and having to keep that continuous monthly payment, or paying just cash out and losing some of that, you know, portfolio of income that they could have kept in the background if they needed it for emergency
That was very
purposes.
clear. So one last question.
Mm-hmm.
How does that mortgage ever get paid off?
So it's not due until the last surviving borrower sells, moves out of the home, or passes away.
Okay.
And that's when your heirs have up to 1 year to sell or refinance the home.
A year, okay.
But keep in mind, your kids will never, your heirs, I should say, will never be indebted to the loan.
Right.
That is a really, really big thing. That is a misconception with this program. The heirs, if they want to keep the home, are only responsible for 95% of the current appraised value of the home. So the reason why I'm stressing this is, let's just say, because a lot of seasoned homeowners are really wondering, you know, well, what's going to happen if I do this and I'm not making a monthly payment on the home, and let's just say the market crashes, the loan values just go down, the loan amounts go up. So for simple terms, let's say, you know, extreme numbers, the loan amount was $300,000, but the home only appraised for $150,000, and you have an heir that wants to keep that home. Well, they're only responsible for 95% of refinancing or paying back that $150,000, and they would not be responsible for that extra $150,000. So they are protected in this loan, which is what we call a non-recourse feature. But yeah, lots of protections with these loans.
Yeah, reverse mortgages have really come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
I really thank you for taking the time to answer some questions. This will hopefully help some of my clients, my folks on Facebook that are curious to know what these loans are about and how they work. And now you have the expert to go to. So thanks so much for coming.
You're welcome. It was lovely being here. Thank you so much for inviting me. But I have a quick question for you. So I know you're still working with buyers and sellers.
Stop.
Okay.